Well, today's day one here in Kansas. We got in last night, settled in, got some groceries, went to the store and stuff. Rode around a little bit yesterday afternoon, saw some bucks chasing some does around and a lot of activity yesterday afternoon. So we're super excited to get in the tree today. We're just sitting here dialing in our bows, making sure everything's still on. Super excited for this week of hunting.
Yeah, it's favorite time of the year. Looks like, honestly, my bow's still good from the airplane ride. I always worry about it when you first get here and getting shook up, but
definitely important to shoot a little bit before you go in the woods.
That's right. It looks good. Been shooting all week at home. I have been itchy to get here, so antsy, so feels great to finally be here. This year Johnston has a tag, so that's fun. Last year I drew an archery tag and he helped me, came on all my hunts last year, and we had some really good luck. So hopefully we can both connect with the right one this week as well.
Yeah, this year we both have tags.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to get after it. Had a good sit this afternoon. I went and sat in this big single random tree in the middle of the CRP field and just wanted to be able to see, where these deer are moving, where they're working from, what direction they're coming from and going. Kind of get an inventory count of what we got in the area. So I did it. I climbed up in there and winds were blowing like 20 miles an hour the entire time. But from the time I got in the tree to the time I left, I was looking at deer. So I probably saw 30, 35 does, 2 bucks. One buck was a really nice one. He was broken off on one side. Not going to shoot him. He came to actually like 80 yards chasing the doe. And then I saw what I believe is a giant. He was probably 600, 700 yards away, and he was chasing a doe. He stopped and looked my direction one time, and I could see him in the binoculars. His horns were just way outside of the ears. They were massive. So that was, got the intel that I wanted. Had 15, 16 does behind me, feeding in the field, and I think it's just a matter of time before a buck comes strolling up close to my tree. So I think I'm going to set that again in the morning and maybe tomorrow afternoon and kind of see, what the deal is, and hopefully a big old mature buck comes checking out those does feeding in the field behind me. So super good sit, super good first sit, and super excited for tomorrow. All right, going in this CRP right here. This morning, I sat up in that tree right there. Got Whitney, Bill up in that tree right now, filming these deer bedding out here on the east side of all this, right here, and working their way to this corn at night. In the morning, they were in the corn already, and then they worked their way to the bed. I saw 4 shooter bucks this morning, so just trying to slip in a little closer to them, trying to see if we can't get in range. Closest one got about 90 yards this morning. I didn't call or anything, didn't grunt, didn't rattle. Just wanted to observe for one more morning. Did the same thing last night, but he was a real good sit, got a lot of intel, and now we're going into him. so while I'm waiting on Whitney and Bill to come out of the woods, I'll give you a little rundown. So like I said earlier, we went into the woods, went into where I have been observing, climbed up a tree last couple of days, observed where these deer are moving, where they're bedding. Feel like I nailed them down pretty good. So I went, got a little closer. I wasn't trying to get all the way up in there, but I just wanted to get a little closer just in case, you know, maybe something snuck around. Wind wasn't exactly right to get all the way up in there, so just got it, you know, got a little closer than I've been. Whitney and Bill climbed the tree that I've been observing out of. Sat there for like an hour, and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of upwind of Whitney. Don't really want to cut her off if she is going to have a chance at a deer. And I don't know. For whatever reason, I got up and I moved out of Whitney's line of wind, and I get to this creek where I think they're going to come take a drink of water before they go feed. And Whitney texted me and said, big buck and doe just got up 50 yards from where I was sitting. So, you know, glad I didn't bump them at least. But anyways, I saw three or four does came to the water. If a buck would have done it, it'd have been a good day. But yeah, you know, maybe that's a lesson learned. Go with the first plan first, and ride it out till the end. But I feel like we're getting closer, getting a lot closer. Tomorrow is going to be the correct wind, so now we get to dive into the thick stuff and see what happens. All right, y'all stay tuned tomorrow. Let's go down this way. That doe moved on. Sit right here on the edge of this thick stuff.
He's a good little bug.
He's coming. I hit him a little far back. Hit him again in the back.
Did you get him?
That deer was at 5 yards.
I know.
5 yards.
I know. It was a stud. That was a stud. Like, that's a Kansas giant. You come here.
The shot's pretty far back.
That's okay. We're gonna give him time. And we're just gonna let him lay. Give him time. If you
I want
want,
to give him 4 or 5 hours.
if you want, we can back out of here. Let's not push him. Let's back out. But he was a giant.
That was a giant.
Hey, good job, man.
I was shooting through all this stuff right here. But there's deer. There's deer.
Behind us, behind us, behind us. That's the one I was looking at.
No, there's another one. Yeah, that's the one-sided one that I saw the other day.
the deer to our left. I saw two of them. And I told you, I said, you wouldn't shoot those deer. But you saw this one on our right. And by the time I got turned around with the camera, he was in our face. On our lap.
I mean, we sat up in that tree over there, observing for 2 days.
Yeah.
We knew that we had to get in here. We wanted to kill those deer.
We had to get aggressive this morning.
Had to get aggressive, so that's what we did. And see the truck over there stopped. Oh my gosh. It was a good area. We saw a bunch of pheasants in here also, so just opening for pheasants Saturday, so we knew we had to get in here, and if we wanted to get after one in here, we had to come in early in the week. Camel, hear me? Camel, I smoked one at 7 yards on the ground.
A giant.
A giant. I got 2 arrows in them. So we come up in here where they're bedding, and we actually had 2 does blow at us. And long story short, we nestled down against the stick stuff, and I sat down, and Whitney said, big buck, she said, buck. And then she was like, oh, you won't shoot it. Well, anyways, she saw the 2 other bucks that were with it. Camel, the deer started moving. He was like 50 yards away. So I pulled my grunt tube out, grunted, and started shaking bushes, this thick stuff. And the deer came, Campbell, to 7 yards. 7 yards is a giant. I shot him through these pretty thick things. My arrow deflected, hit him pretty far back, but he ran to 40 and stopped, and I got another arrow and shot him with it and hit him again, but also far back. I don't know, I'm pretty worried about the shot, to be honest with you. I put how far back? Like pretty far back,
You're fine.
in front of the back legs.
If it's a good shot, we will die.
We just need.
You will die.
Yeah, we're gonna back out and probably come back like late this afternoon.
Well, good luck.
I think we're gonna find him.
All right, love
I
you.
think we're gonna find him.
Love you too.
Bye. Yeah, so we're gonna sit here for a minute, see what happens, then back out. But I got 2 arrows in that deer. Both of them are not the best shots in the world, but hopefully there's something that that got him. That's a stud.
Yeah, it is.
ranch. I don't know how I feel.
Well, it's go time. We shot that buck this morning and decided to let it rest for a little while. It's been 8 hours since we shot him. I shot him a little bit before 7 o'clock. So we decided to let him run off and hopefully bed down, and hopefully it won't be too far by the time we get there, and he'll, be nestled in his bed, just expired. So super nervous, super excited. It's been the longest 7-8 hours of my life, and yeah, so.
Mine too.
Yeah,
I think I paced a hole through the floor in the Airbnb.
But we're about to head that way and go in there and see what we can find.
Two or three specks on a leaf back there. Every speck counts.
That's right.
Oh my God, baby. Good job. I love you. Good job.
I told you.
Good job, baby. We got him. You got him. You got him, baby.
I told you.
You got him. You got him.
You got him.
You got him.
You got him.
Over here.
This is a freaking giant.
Baby. Wow. Wow.
Look at your arrow. Look at your arrow.
That's the last one. Oh yeah.
That's your first one. He was quarter to us. You killed a Kansas giant.
He's a good one, son. Look at that.
Oh my gosh, look at that neck. Look at these bases.
Dang, look at that, baby.
Oh my gosh. I can't even put my hands around these bases. Congratulations. Congratulations.
That's it.
We love y'all.
Oh, love y'all. Thanks for letting us know. All right, you better call Graham.
Baby, his glands aren't even, he's not even rutting.
He's not rutting. Look, your shot was not that far back. You got
He was just
lung.
quartered so much.
You got lung.
Quartered so much.
You got quartered so much that it looked like
His neck.
that neck is huge.
Gosh.
Look at that look.
Did I hit him second time? Yeah, I hit him right there.
Yeah. which could get, I mean, that could get an artery.
Chasing our tail and howling at the moon. I work too hard to tell me I can't.
Well, what a hunt.
It's been a great day.
What a hunt. This morning, it was a process for sure. It was a couple-day process to watch these deer, how they're moving, going to bed, going to feed, staging up. And we thought we had a good plan. And we dropped in there this morning. I don't know, what were we in there? 15 minutes max.
That.
Got in there and had a doe, blew at us. They're coming back from the feed, from feeding a lot earlier today than they had been. But doe blew at us when we got up in there, and you know, we knew it wasn't the end of the world, but it's never good when that happens. But anyways, we sat down, and Whitney, you said that you saw a nice buck, and
Yeah, I yelled. I was like, buck, 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 don't move. And we had just kind of, like he said, we were slipping up over that hillside to see what was up there. And, you know, that's when the doe blew. And so we're like, all right, we better kind of take a seat here and see what, you know, what happens next. And
that was where we wanted to be in the first place.
And about that time, we saw a buck. So first two bucks that came in, I saw a different buck than what he saw. So I said, buck, buck, buck. And then he was like, is it a shooter? I said, oh, no, I don't think you'd shoot it. But meanwhile, big boy right here was creeping around the corner. And so he had his eyes on him.
Yeah. So, you know, I knew that doe made us, and I figured the bucks did too. So, you know, what do you do in that situation? I acted like another buck, grunted, started shaking leaves, shaking branches, shaking sticks. And you know what? This deer came to 6 yards, gave us a quartering 2 shot. You know, hindsight 2020, probably should have let him take another step or two, get more broadside. But you know how it is. The deer's 6 yards, and you gotta let that arrow fly. So we did, and he got hit, and it seemed like a decent shot in the middle of the body, quarter 2. Would like for it been more forward, but you know, give it what you take what you can get, and got another shot in him. I think that might have been the one that sealed the deal. Yeah. We let him lay for 8 hours, came back in the woods and tracked him for, you know, took a while, hands and knees, you know,
drop by drop.
And we made it back to this point, and the deer kind of, you know, he bedded 3 or 4 times on the edge of this thick stuff and caught a whiff of a smell. Yeah. And so we dove into the thick bushes and actually lost blood for a little while, but Whitney found it back and drop, led us right to him walking on the trail, fell over. And wow, what a hunt.
It was awesome.
What a hunt.
You know, when you're tracking these deer and you don't have a super great blood trail, you just halfway through you start to be like, all right, am I going to find him? And you know, sometimes like that sense of doubt like starts to sink in, but I just kept praying the whole time. And you know, I said a prayer coming in today, and sorry, I get emotional because
we gotta thank the good Lord for this one for sure.
Definitely. I said a prayer like when we were tracking. I was like, Jesus, like lead me to him. I was like, just be the light. Just lead me to him. And they laugh at me because I usually don't have a blood trail, and I'm like a little hound dog. So saw that other speck of blood and started feeling pretty confident that I knew that was prayers answered today. We were able to recover this amazing harvest. Johnston made a great shot. Wasn't as perfect as he wanted, but that's bow hunting. And that's hunting in general. And
definitely thank the good Lord for that. Thank our family,
super
our friends.
Blessed.
Thank your family and friends, you know.
Without
them, we wouldn't be able to do this.
I think his phone has probably rang
I know
30, 40 times when we've been tracking it. You know, we have a tribe of friends and family definitely rooting us on out here. So It's awesome.
Your turn, baby.
I know. I'm in the hot seat now.
Yeah, we
This
still
morning,
have 5 or 6 days left.
Walking in, I told Johnston, I was like, I just want to, I'll video you today. And I took my bow just in case, because sometimes, you just never know. Actually, we, the 2 deer that were to the left of us, we could have had a shot, but I just felt in my heart that I needed to keep hunting. And anyways, I got behind the camera today, and it was awesome being there for this moment and getting to, walk in. He said, if it's a big one, I'm shooting it. And buddy, he did, didn't he?
Oh man,
so,
super blessed.
Awesome day.
Oh, super blessed. Well,
couldn't have went any better.
Y'all stay tuned, follow along, and subscribe. Got a lot more stuff coming ahead, and next on the list is you, Whitney.
I know.
Whitetail.
Fingers crossed. I have a tag still to punch. I got about a week left here in Kansas, so hoping I can get it done.
Yep.
All right, thanks y'all.
Thank y'all.
No paper trail, no closing time when you're a self-made man. It's on your